Greetings, YouTube. I've gone back and forth privately as I debate how to cover, or even if I will cover, this forum post. I mean, I guess in a way it's a controversy because there are two very passionate sides of this, and I think most people in the comments I've read seem to be in the middle. Not to say that there's automatically a middle ground in this subject matter. It's just a really, really sensitive topic that made Kabam Mike step out of the forum role and kind of turn into more of a angry human role. And I am not saying that he doesn't have a right to do that, because I think especially in this case he does. But it is a reminder of the videos that we talked about and the posts that we talked about during the Wiccan and Hulkling month, where some people just flat out refused to play the game during that month and protest. And Kabam said, well, hey, you can do what you want to do, but we're going to do what we want to do. And I think my biggest stressor in this video, because if you believe a certain thing, I'm not going to change your mind. And I'm not going to try, because I think that would be a waste of everybody's time. But I think quite a few people who watch this are not going to even know what the heck this forum post talked about. Because it is certainly the case that it's sort of hidden on the forums. So there was the new champ coming initial post, and there were some people who were hyped when this first hit, and some who weren't. Oliver, I don't know how many things are silent. 420 Roll posted just a few days ago that she looks awesome. And, that's a positive post. And I don't know if he expected that this forum post would turn into what it is, but in 2023, when you have people who like to use phrases like forced diversity, anytime you highlight anyone from what is considered to be a marginalized community, you're going to get pushback from a certain part of any community. I've seen this in every single community that I follow. This is not a MCOC strictly subject matter, but it's sort of a microcosm for society in a way. And you may hate that about society. You may think that that's actually something that in the quote unquote marketplace of ideas is worth debating. Again, I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm just here to tell you what immediately happened. You had a summoner that called it a colorful diversity forced mess. That was the first response to this forum post. That just gives you an idea of how immediately this went off the rails. And so then, of course, the posts don't talk about the champion. They talk about the reaction to the champion. And suddenly you've got people 2 posts in that are just arguing at each other's throats. What do you mean, Mesh? She looks amazing. Have you seen her ability animations? And so iDestroyer-Z is trying to say, hey, stop thinking about forced diversity and start thinking about great animations and abilities in the game. Design-wise, mess, not her kit. Again, kind of a weird stance, but you also see he's got this line through his profile. I don't know if that means he's banned or not. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I haven't seen that before. So you'd have been happier with the same kit, but another guillotine spinoff. That's one way to put it. Hoping you're talking about how you don't like her clothes and color palette, you're not being racist. So again, this absolutely changed things. And then you just have so many people arguing at each other's throats. So eventually on page 4, by the way, Grounded Wisdom does speak up. I like to know how you came up with diversity for the sake of it. She was designed by First Nations people in part. Now, I don't say this a lot because I feel like Grounded Wisdom is clearly paid by Kabam to come in and defend them even when they are clearly in the wrong. And I am not going to ever on this channel be somebody that feels pressured to defend Kabam when I believe they're in the wrong. That's why I have remained as independent as I have been over the years. But when you have a response of, because as I said, she's poorly designed, original design-wise, which is a pretty passionate stance, I have to say. And then you've got the other side. You love how you claim it's a poor design when it's literally an original creation. So lacks originality. Eventually, I mean, we could spend 30 minutes looking at all of these comments, but when you go to the last page before this forum post was closed, which I believe is page 4, you eventually have the last comment from Kabam Mike. This is a very powerful comment where he just went for it. Unfortunately, I have to close this thread down, which is too bad, because it's about the introduction of a character that was a passion project for our designers. First Nations people that were eager and excited to make a character that they feel truly tells their stories and represents their heritage and culture. I want to say something to those people making hateful, racist, and homophobic remarks. And yes, this is how this forum post went about. Hiding behind this mask of forced diversity and making everything political. Diversity is not political. Us wanting to tell our stories is not political. This is our game, and we built it. If you want to tell your stories, make your own game. Pretty powerful line there. This game was built by an extremely diverse group of people. Our First Nations team member that made this character also built much of the RPG systems that this game stands on. Our LGBTQ teammates built the foundations of this game. Let me be clear when I say without their contributions, there would be no Marvel Contest of Champions. And I think this is his way of saying, look, regardless of whether or not you believe for political, religious, whatever reasons that somebody should be who they are, there are a huge amount of diverse people that made this game possible. And that, I think, is another really important point. He does end it quite strongly. If you want to be a bigot, go do it somewhere else, because I don't owe you a space or platform for you to spread your hatred and bigotry. You are not welcome here, and we don't care if you stop playing our game. We built a space that is for everyone, so make space for everyone or get out. So, here's the deal. I'm not going to tell you what to think, but there is a saying in graduate school when I was in my master's program that was, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. What that means is, whatever class you're in, whatever the rules that professor makes, even if they clash with another professor, it's their sandbox. You either obey the rules or you leave. And I think that is essentially a G-rated way to say this post is echoing the same sentiment. I think from what I've seen behind the scenes, there were a lot of people who gained respect for Kabam Mike after reading this. Obviously, there are people who lost respect after reading this. We want a good game. We want a game that's fixed. We want a game that the input issues are still not input issues. And I know for several people, even though I haven't done a video about this in a while, they still claim that they're as broken as ever, and that's the thing they're most concerned about, not anything else. And I don't want to lose sight of that. I wanted to cover this post as is. I want it to be under 10 minutes. We're getting dangerously close, so I need to wrap this up. And I do think it's important to not just ignore this kind of post because it's seen as quote-unquote controversial, because I'm here still with the channel to try to give a perspective, even if it's just to synthesize a lot of other perspectives and comments into one video. So hopefully I did that here. If you agree, disagree, whatever it is, thanks for watching this video as long as you have, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.